Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and a brand new video on Marvel Contest of Champions. This is a follow-up video from my video all about dungeons, a guide to dungeons, and a link to that is in the description below. In that video I said, go over to this other video where I've got a list of champions that work well with block proficiency, with armor, with damage output, and this is that video. These champions that I've selected are champions that I've found incredibly helpful, useful, and as well withstand a lot of damage, which is handy if your playing ability is not quite there with regards to helping out your fellow dungeons participants. So let's talk about these champions and go through them as quickly as possible. Let's kick things off with Luke Cage. A great champion, great with regards to L1, getting that stun. Exhaustion's really handy to kind of put on the enemy. Physical resistance is great as well, so your damage take is not so severe. Just an all-round great champion and good selection for going up against this content. Right, let's kick things off with Luke Cage. He's the first one up on the plate. A good amount of armor and a great amount of block proficiency, which is incredibly helpful when going up against certain champions. So obviously your block stats isn't going to take that much damage, and it's important to try to stay alive as much as possible. Great with regards to the L1, with regards to that stun. Physical resistance is there, so damage take is limited down. Great champion overall. Next up is Captain Marvel, one of my personal favorites, and the reason that I really like it is the fact that we've got energy absorption. We've also got an increase with regards to power stored, which can increase the attack. And just an all-round kind of like great ability as well. She's poison immune, which can be handy, especially going up against annoying champions like Abomination. Next up is Vision. Good amount of block proficiency on this champion. The reason he's in it is power stealing. I love power stealing because it's so important to take power away from the enemy, and like the power burn aspect is really important as well, because you want to be able to make sure that the enemy doesn't gain power to do specials. Scarlet Witch next up is a one-stop shop for pain with regards to like nullifying, as well as getting some decent buffs, which is going to put pain onto the enemy. Sometimes the nodes may not work out in your favor when regards to using her, but she is a freight train with regards to power, as well as a freight train with regards to damage on the enemy. So you could get lucky with regards to things like regeneration, fury, and cruelty. Yeah, really decent champ. And Awakened Dormammu can be really helpful with regards to power burning as well as power locking. If you work the champion well, you may be able to kind of like hit off the regeneration, but it's very difficult to do. I love the soul bond detonation. I like put a soul bond on and then detonate it at the point it then becomes 100. And you know, I can do about like 11,000 damage a time, and it can be incredibly handy because the enemy will want to do those specials. So you put it on one soul bond detonation, they'll do the special, goes up to 100, parry, hit him with a heavy, boom, 11k, done. And as well, you can nullify. That's handy in some cases, especially with doing the L1, and sometimes obviously when you're empowered it can like do a lot more than that, and as well you can do some stuff with the L3, but I really like to use what I just said, that method. Next up is ICEMAN. Better for the awakened one than the unawakened one, and that's because obviously a cold snap is pretty darn cool to have. Maximizing power is so darn important, especially when you're going up against champions that may be poison immune, they may be bleed immune. So hey, you know, there's not many except for Sabretooth that, you know, withstand the might of ICEMAN. Next up is Ultron. Better when he is awakened, just because of the absorption side of things, and that can come in handy from time to time, especially with the enemies you're facing off against. So yeah, regeneration aspects are kind of cool. You know, bleeds off this champion, stuns. There's some great stuff, and you know, as well, like the evade side of things can get you out of sticky situations, especially when you're parrying and blocking and maybe your device isn't that good. It is really handy to have a champion that evades out and as well has a bit of regen to him, actually like twice regen, so he's pretty cool. Next up is King GROOT. Now this is the unawakened version. I do have an awakened version, but you know, it's a choice from yourself. You do have adrenaline if you're over 6 stars, and that's a given, but with regards to like King GROOT as a general thing, he takes off of buffs if he's got a fury buff on. He's got a fury buff on and he gets a debuff effect, then that does get taken off by having a fury. So that's pretty cool. It does mean that you're not taking quite so much damage at times, which is really important. Even better with regards to an awakened version because you get more of an extensive regen. Yeah, okay, the attack side of things is bad. If you're running suicides, he's a lot better, a hell of a lot better. But I mean, I like him. A lot of people's perspective will be different. However, though, if you feel you're low on health, you can go to an L3 on an unawakened version and get a load of regeneration. So that, again, can be a little bit more effective to keep him in the game longer. Even better when, obviously, you know, we've got end bosses that you can heal up. So, yeah, double whammy. Next up is Dr. Voodoo, a really strong champion, one that I've got 99. I am so bad at getting my rank ups because I should get him up to rank 5 a lot more quickly. But yeah, he's a solid champion. The start for the regeneration at the start of the battle is so darn important, especially because it limits the damage take from enemies hitting in. If you can get down the enemy within the first certain amount of seconds, then you're going to be absolutely sorted. Like first 10 seconds of there. So you've got 1,305 health. Obviously that will vary from starage to starage. If you've got a 5-star version, it will be different. So it's important within that first 10 seconds to inflict as much damage as possible, because you have that regen, and obviously you can take damage, you don't have to worry so much. But also dishing out, oh man, he dishes out so much damage, as well as, like, you know, the odds to evens correspondence with the guy's signature ability is so darn good. The L1s and the L2, we got poisons in there as well. There's a lot of things with damage output and also kind of being a real slugger in the first 10 seconds that's going to be really important if you have him, to then maximize your damage in dungeons. Next up is Stark Spidey, and has like amazing positives to him, but he also has a slight negative. The slight negative is the playing style. You have to be very good at evading in order to make this champion a lot better for you with regards to like smacking at the enemy. As you will find, if you're just blocking and parrying, that will just whittle down your health quite quickly, and you will be taking damage. Even though it's not direct damage, it will feel like it and it will see like it. So it's best to evade out, and then it's all about intercepts with this champion. So if you're good with your intercepts, this champion's going to be great for you. But at the same time, you can like evade out a load of attacks, build up that poise, and then smash through, because obviously you're increasing your attack rating by doing that, and maximizing damage in that brief period. Ghost Rider is another champion that is quite effective for battling out things with judgments, as well as the concept of health regeneration with regards to like life stealing is pretty cool, and also will keep this champion in the game a little bit longer. I think a lot of people really enjoy their 5-star versions. I really want to get mine up to 550 just to, you know, just maximize my damage with him. Annoying that he's poison immune. He's not poison immune, but it's good in some ways that he's bleed immune. I still can't get around the poison immune thing, but I suppose there's some link with his fleshy form as Johnny Blaze. Meh. Next up is Hyperion. There's so many things that kind of go well for Hyperion with Incinerate, as well as stuns, furies, and it's just, there's like I said, there's a whole load of things going. His power gain is insane, and a really decent effective champion that is going to help you out, especially if you want to hit through the enemy or kind of like stun. I think you can chain well with regards to this to get into another special. Either way, I can't wait until I get mine awakened. Like next 4-star Cosmic is going, Awakening Gem is going on this champion. Next up is Quake, a champion that is really effective against this based on Aftershock, where, you know, we're putting like stuns in as well. There's things with regards to heavy you can use. I'm not 100% sure how the exploit thing went with Kabam, because I know they kind of said, oh, there was an exploit with Quake. I don't know the kind of the lay of the land with that, if that's still affecting people. I haven't seen quite as many being used in dungeons, but it doesn't mean to say she's bad for it. I think she's still good. The level of damage output is still there. The evades, that can work really well in your favor, especially if you're a bit worried about your playing style and playing ability. Great champion, like I said. Next up is Archangel. Can't really say anything more than positive things about Archangel. Yeah, okay, you could say that if you are blocked, then you will take damage, especially when you get to higher dungeons. But the level of bleeds, like poisons convert into neurotoxins, and then it's going to stun, can mean at times you don't have to do anything. You just have to watch your enemy just die in front of you. It's so incredibly cool. The method with this is parry and then heavy attack in order to apply a bleed effect, and then it's a case that, you know, you can perfect block, and that's gonna like input a poison onto the enemy based on touch, and then you're able to do a heavy, which then converts the bleed and the poison to a neurotoxin. So that is really how you do that quickly, and you can just take, like I said, take down the enemy so quickly. Can't wait to get a 5-star version of this. I've got a war crystal that I'm going for. There's a few champions in that I quite like, so hopefully I can get him at 5-star and let the fun times roll. Next up is Mephisto, and this is a bit of an iffy one, based on the fact that there's good-ish damage output with the Aura of Incineration. We also have the poison immunity, which is good about the champion. The other thing with regards to Incinerate, yeah, okay, that's positive. The regeneration aspect, as you get a certain low. The armor, as I said, is trash for this champion. The block proficiency is good for the champion, and it really does notice sometimes fighting off against the champion, you don't seem to like get him down quite as quickly as you normally would. But obviously, when you're using him as an offensive line, man, you're finding that health decimate is just like it just goes down so quickly. So yeah, a bit of an iffy one there. Next up is Medusa, one of the best, like literally just one of the best. Living strands, poison immunity, bleeds. You know, there's so many things that tick with regards to this champion that I think are just so good. Armor breaks on the enemy. Yeah, absolutely solid champion, great damage output, and as well, like with the armor and block proficiency, 12%, 59%, you know, it's still good, but yeah, great champion. I think a lot of people would agree with that. MAGIK is the well-formed package with regards to power burning, power locking, power stealing. There's so many things again with nullify that you can use to take down the enemy, as well at the same time with limbo you're able to then gain back any health lost. Perfect. So yeah, a good champion for the grind. Next up is Blade, a great champion for this. Regeneration is going to make him stay in the game a lot longer. You've got bleeds, you've got power gain, you've got danger sense, yeah, full package with it, and you can have him with the Holy Trinity with Stark Spidey and Ghost Rider. There's nothing really much to say. We all know how good he is in with regards to being useful. So yeah, great for dungeons. Next up is Yondu. A lot of people may opt not to use Yondu, but he's quite effective. We've got bleeds, we've got armor break, heal block, which can be really good, especially when you go up against certain nodes where the enemy is getting regeneration. There's like this kind of like stacks of regeneration, similar to Sabertooth, but again, it's handy, especially when you're doing against the mutant week or mutant day even. You can use Yondu quite effectively to do the heal blocking and other things. So yeah, great champion for usage in dungeons. Next up is Hulk. Great thing about Hulk is stuns, like off the L1 stun. And yeah, okay, people may wonder why you kind of like, should you push up the power on an enemy any further than 1 or 2 bars? And the answer is no, you really shouldn't. But you're able to kind of like, you know, let them do a special, you do a special, and then you put a hit through on the stun. I kind of push near to the 2nd bar, but not so much as they kind of go over, because the L2s of some champions can be really frustrating. The great thing as well is poison. We've also got furies. If you find that Hulk is then down to below 25% sometimes, and you can't heal him up, then go in with him, because he gets that decent like buff when he's lower than 25%. Which is going to mean he's going to put in some crazy amount of damage. Next up, the Wolverines. Standard Wolverine, great. Regeneration, bleed, lovely. X23, cruelty, bleeds, regeneration, perfect. Really handy, unless you're going up against certain champions that have nodes that have heal reversal or heal block. But apart from that, you know, they're great champions, especially a little bit of bleed as well. Can't go wrong. Next up is Captain America World War II. Unless you've got some sort of node you're going up against that reduces down block proficiency, you know, he's going to be amazing for you. 74% block proficiency. This is not as good as the Infinity War one, which we'll talk about in a moment, but still is really darn solid. Decent champion, bleed as well, but it just he takes punishment and dishes out a good amount in return. But it's all about staying in the game longer, and if you're not great with regards to your playing ability, you're finding you're dying regularly in dungeons, champions like Captain America World War II are going to be helpful with you with regards to taking block damage. So block damage and parrying is really good with this champion. And yes, moving on to Captain America Infinity War, his adaptive nature, which I've covered in a video, is so cool. So different champions classes that he faces off against, obviously he gets decent buffs, whatever. Kind of, if he's got a good synergy team with him, he will mean that he'll be able to be a bit more effective, or you know, everyone around that team will be more effective. The well, the block proficiency is quite high at 76.3%, which, like I said, compared with the other one, is a lot higher. So this guy can take a little bit more damage with regards to being blocked, and do quite well with regards to the parries as well. He can damage output quite well. We've also got the, you know, if he goes against like Unstoppable, he'll be able to nullify that, which is great. And then so many other different things. As he's becomes kinetically charged, he can hit out more with regards to attack. He gets better physical resistance and energy resistance. So there's so many positive things going for this champion. This is actually one of my favorite dungeon brawlers at the moment. Next up is Rogue, and it's great for this champion because if you want a champion that's going to stay you in the game a little bit longer with regards to, say, getting life stealing as well as power stealing, this is a great champion. Rogue is fantastic. I can't wait till I awaken this champion because she's incredibly effective. If you're finding your health kind of go down quite quickly and the enemy's gaining power, then this is the great champion for that. Next up, GWENPOOL. You know, bleeds, we've got a little bit of incinerate, we've got stuns, we've got a power lock. There's a few things that are going for the champion that make it incredibly effective, as well as, you know, plot armor is good. I know a lot of people may question that, but it keeps her alive in the game a lot longer with regards to, you know, special damage. So yeah, like especially when she's being 99, it's kind of good from my perspective. But if I can then push her to the end boss and unheal up, that's a good thing when it comes to dungeons. So yeah, great champion. Damage output is highly up there and can keep you in the game. She can be a very odd occurrence to stay alive for a lot longer. So that has been a list of all the champions that I find incredibly effective in dungeons. If you have a suggestion, because obviously you may not agree with the ones that I've selected, then put it in the comment section below with a little justification of why, and it'll really help out anybody in the community that maybe watched this video and then go, hey, like, well, I didn't see my favorite champion on the list, but someone will just in the comment section go, hey, you know, it's this one here. So that would really help, so thank you. And a few honourable mentions go out to Hulk, Ragnarok and Doc Ock, but like I said, I can't really find great justifications with them. I'm sure other people can. Anyway, thanks very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. And as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.